from observing him, did you think that this is going to make him, I'm trying to think how to put this, is the way he's going to absorb what are going to be the very stormy seas of his first months and probably year in office, will the public, do you think, warm to what they see, this solid state part of his personality? I mean, you know, what are we wanting to see? Are we wanting to see a president who's going to be showing the sweat from the job, or being very calm about it? And how do you think he's going to weather that, especially with the Republicans ready to pounce at the first opportunity?
Well, I want to give credit to my colleagues and competitors at Time Magazine. I love the cover that they did of Obama as Franklin Roosevelt, with that swaggering smile and the you know, the cigarette holder,
which we know is an accurate depiction.
Which is an accurate depiction. I mean, I think that's what we want. I think we want somebody who is confident, somebody who sees optimism in crisis, who sees opportunity in crisis, who we think will make sound decisions, not overly influenced by politics, but by what is reasonable and what is right. Now, Obama has enormous expectations that he's carrying with him into the White House. So the stormy seas that he's going to face, and they are going to be stormy, are economic, military, diplomatic, and psychological, in the sense that we have invested a whole lot of hope in a campaign that was based on the word hope. And we want him to succeed because we feel that through his success, we as a country will succeed. And that is both an enormous boost to him, but an enormous burden.
I find even Republicans I know who are really party regulars want him to succeed.
Well, at this point, let's see. We've got the Fed having reduced interest rates to 0.
Yeah.
I expect Ben...
We need somebody to succeed.
Yeah. I expect Ben Bernanke will burst through the door here at Nathan's, distributing $100 bills to everybody and urging you to go buy,
Nobody can have them
something.
but us.
So we've got the economy in a very, very parlous position. We still have 2 wars going on. The one in Iraq that is producing the shoe thrower, and one in Afghanistan that isn't over. And by the way, on a little bit of news here, I think that Obama is going to really focus on those tribal regions of Pakistan when he gets to be president. I'm told that General Jones, who's going to be the National Security Advisor, has a report on his desk in the transition saying that that is the key to the whole thing. In other words, that the area where Osama bin Laden's hiding out. So Obama's going to have more piled on his plate in terms of the war on terror. He's got an economy that's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. We're going to need him to be shrewd.
Do you think quietly getting Osama bin Laden will still be a major goal of this president as it was before? I mean...
Oh, I think Obama, well, here's what Obama's being told, I'm told. Obama's being told that the key to the whole thing are those wild, essentially ungovernable mountain territories on the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, where Osama was, where we didn't get him when we had a chance, they say, and where supposedly, if he's still alive, he still is, and probably where Ayman Zawahiri is. Obama really wants to focus on that, and he's being told that's what he should do, because that's the key to stability in Pakistan and Afghanistan, and therefore to the whole region. I just mentioned this by way of saying that even though Obama's going to be focused on the economy, the foreign policy and military challenges aren't going to disappear.
I want to talk about the future, but before we leave the '08 campaign, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Hillary Clinton and what happened to her. Because it's operatic, you know, it's something very huge happened to Hillary Clinton. Because again, looking at my questions from when you were last here, one of them was, is she inevitable? And there was a feeling that she was inevitable. And I don't know if you were on their campaign much, but what must it have been like when the Clintons realized that the inevitability was not theirs, not hers?
I don't think they realized it yet. I mean, he hasn't been sworn in yet. It's only December 17th.
I wonder about that sometimes.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they'll ever get it. Look, Hillary was
there
unlucky.
had to be some shocking behind-the-scenes moments.
Yes, Hillary was unlucky. Hillary was unlucky. If Barack Obama hadn't happened on the scene, she would be the nominee. Would have been the nominee, and she quite likely would be preparing her cabinet, which ironically wouldn't look much different from the one Obama's putting together.
That is, yeah.
It would be virtually the same. It would be virtually the same. So she was unlucky. I've covered politics for a long time, and one of the few things I've learned is that timing is everything, and it's a game of comparison. Compared with what? Compared with whom? And Obama became more the change agent than she, even though she would have been the first woman president. Even though she broke all those glass ceilings and did all that kind of thing. Obama was more of a gee whiz change story because of his mixed race background and because of the speech he gave in 2002 opposing the war in Iraq before it was fought. Those two things, his mixed race heritage and his stand on the war, were going to outflank Hillary if Obama had the right stuff to make it happen, which is why the speech the Jefferson-Jackson Day speech he gave was so important. Because that said, okay, this guy's a major league player, he can hit fastballs, you know, he can hit major league pitching, and he's going to be able to outmaneuver her. And that's what happened to her. I don't think, everybody says she ran a disastrously bad campaign. Sure, it could have been better. Sure, she could have, I mean, I don't think she did a great job when they launched. It was a little too much of a coronation. You remember the first video that she did? It's where she's sitting in that sunny sunroom there with the yellow the back and saying, "Hi, come on in, let's have a conversation," as though she were already president. Well, that was wrong. She needed to be out with working people doing it from the outside in instead of the inside out. So they did fundamentally misperceive her. I mean, talking about her advisors, her situation. But even if they had tried it that way, I'm not sure it would have worked because Obama was so skillful and Obama's campaign was so flawlessly run from beginning to end.
Who do the Clintons blame?
Who don't they blame? They blame the media. I'm telling they. Well, let's see. Let's say, who does Hillary blame? They blame the media. They blame Mark Penn. I have a prompter over here somewhere. they blame Mark Penn for pursuing that insider strategy. They blame a lack of field organization, which is their own fault. Hillary probably blames Bill to some extent. And Bill probably blames Hillary, although he wouldn't say it, because she doesn't have the moves. I mean, she doesn't hear the music the way he does.
He must have always thought in some way that Obama was his legacy in some ways more than Hillary. Is there that possibility?
Well, I think that's a brilliant observation. I think what Bill probably was thinking in his innermost thoughts was, Obama's more like me than Hillary is. Hillary's the straight A student, and if you saw Hillary, I remember when Hillary gave her speech about the war in Iraq, I was in the gallery, and I was looking down at Hillary, who was down below on the Senate floor, and when she came out to give her speech on Iraq, she had it in a special little notebook, and there was like color-coded tabs, and the handwriting was perfect, and you could just tell that Hillary studied and studied and studied and studied what was essentially a painfully crafted middle position, and she learned everything by rote, whereas Bill was all reaction and gut feeling and style. And I think Bill probably thought, now Obama, now there's a politician. There's a guy with some moves. And you know that's what Bill was thinking. Even while he was resenting the fact that
I want to be up